Good afternoon. My name is Brian Grzymkowski. I'm one of the assistant directors of graduate admissions here at William Paterson University. I'm joined by Christina Ayala, one of my colleagues, who's going to be walking through our PowerPoint presentation in just a minute. Want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule over the summer to join us for our registration webinar for our upcoming fall semester. We realize that some of you may not have registered for courses online in quite a while, some of you maybe even ever, and this is hopefully a very easy way for you to get a lot of information in a relatively short amount of time. We want to make sure that you feel comfortable registering for your courses, that you know what to expect from the process, and that you also are able to address any issues that might pop up unexpectedly when you go to register for specific courses. So with that in mind, I want to let you know that as we go through, you are more than welcome to type any questions that you might have in the chat box there on the GoToWebinar screen. We will answer them as we are able to as we go throughout the presentation. And then also that is pretty much it from our end. So I am going to turn it over to my colleague Christina, who's going to walk you through the presentation. So Christina, take it away.
Good evening, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. As Brian said, I'm going to go over what it is to register for the fall semester, ultimately, and the semesters following that through the university. So I want to congratulate you on your acceptance, and without further ado, we'll get started. Here is a welcome to William Paterson shot of the entire campus. If you look towards the left-hand side, you'll see what is parking lot 5. That is the main parking lot for main campus here at 300 Pompton Road. That's pretty much the hub. It brings you to almost the center of any of where your classes may be and whatnot. Now, for those of you that are business majors or college of education majors, the majority of your courses will be held at the Valley Road campus, the 1600 Valley Road campus, and that is just a little ways down Hamburg Turnpike. So the graduation registration timetable, for those of you who were accepted months ago or those that have just been accepted, just to give you a little bit of an idea, the registration did open on April 6th. However, it will run all the way through the first day of classes, and then ultimately the week later you can still add and drop courses. I do believe September 12th will be the final day to make any changes to your schedule. Be advised that there are no paper bills at this point with the university, that once you register, you will receive an emailed bill to your William Paterson University email address. That is the official communication, means of communication for the university to yourself. And if there are any questions, any of your professors and or the registrar or financial aid office will request that you use that email address to communicate with the university. So you want to make sure that not only you check it and you're checking it often, but that you do know how to log in and out of it. Program director contact info. If for some reason you go to register for a course and it tells you that there is a restriction or you need permission to enter the course, you're going to want to reach out to the program director directly, as graduate admissions is unable to put in permits for courses. So if you go to our website and you click on the program that you are matriculated in, you're going to look to the left and it'll show you the contact information for that program director. If you are a non-degree seeking student, you're going to still want to go to the page in which the course that you'd like to take is being held, and at that point you can reach the the program director for that through that contact information. Again, your WPU email account, this is the official channel of communication. You want to make sure that you check it regularly, that you're constantly looking at it. If there are any questions, you are more than welcome to reach out to us with those. In order to check your email address, I'll go through real quick. You're going to go to our homepage, which is WPUNJ.edu. You're going to select the WP Connect button on the top left corner of the university homepage. You're then going to log in, click the login button. Your username is as it appears in your email address, which was sent to you in your welcome packet. So there is an example there for B Smith. It's smithb@student.wpunj.edu. Your password will be your student ID number, which is the number, again, provided to you in your welcome registration packet, and that number begins with 855. From there, you're going to click Login, and there is an email icon at the top right that you can use to access your email. How to register for a course. As you go into WP Connect, you'll go to the main homepage and you'll select WP Connect again, and you're going to need to log in once again with your username and your password. The first time you log into this, it is going to ask you to review and acknowledge the university alcohol and drug policy. Once you acknowledge that policy, it'll ask you to confirm your PIN. In most instances, your PIN will be your date of birth in 6 digits, which is month, day, year. Unfortunately, on this screen here, it's done backwards. However, it is going to be if your birthday was January 15th, 1986, 011586. If you happen to encounter any issues, you're going to want to try the last 6 digits of your student ID number, which is your ID number minus the 855, as you can see here. It's going to ask you to complete a security question. You must provide the answer, and that'll give you the ability to log in and out further. How to register. After you've logged in, you're going to select Look Up Course Offerings on the left-hand side. That's going to be followed by selecting the date range. The term, obviously, for this term is fall 2017. And at that point, you're going to click Submit. Once you click Submit, if you look to the image all the way to the right, it's a little cumbersome. There's a couple questions, but the only thing you need to worry about is the subject in which you wish to take courses. You're going to select the course level, which would obviously be graduate, or for those of you who are non-degree taking undergraduate courses, you're going to want to select undergraduate, and then you're going to go to section search. At that point, it'll bring up the listing of classes for you that are offered underneath that subject category. Anything ending with an 80 is going to be an online course, so you want to make sure when you're looking at that to decide whether or not you're taking an actual in-person in-class course or if it's an online course. Again, a little bit more on how to register. If for some reason you select register and you come up with any of these results, these codes on the left-hand side, and are not allowed for registration, it usually means that the enrollment period is not open. At this point, again, we are completely open for the fall semester, so you should not have this problem. SR means that there is some type of student restriction, whether it's your status, your academic standing, if there's a hold on your account, that won't allow you to enroll in classes. And the designation C is a closed class, meaning there's no seats available in that section. Most classes will be listed as online or hybrid in the event they're not the traditional types of courses. You're going to want to look for your CRN number, which is the course registration number. You're going to need to use that for registration. So if you want to write it down somewhere or copy and paste it if you're only registering for one course, it will always be a 5-digit number. An example would be 11017. The course number and selection. That's used to differentiate between the classes and the section offerings. For instance, the MBA 6160-70 is organizational behavior and communication. That is not the number you'll register with, so you want to make sure that you are paying attention to the CRN numbers. How to register. So, excuse me, when you go to look up the courses, it'll give you the option for the types of courses that the sections that you were looking for. So for instance, at this point, we had looked up the accounting courses, and it'll show you on the left that there are student restrictions. It's because of what we logged into, but there should be nothing there. And the CRN number, as you can see, is highlighted in blue. To understand the course selection screen a little bit better, I'm just going to go through a few of the points. The Ds are designated M for Monday, T Tuesday, W Wednesday, R for Thursday, F for Friday, S for Saturday. There are no Sunday classes up to this point, so we don't have to worry about that. TBA is to be announced, and that generally occurs only if it's an online course. CAP is the maximum capacity for the course. ACT is the actual current students registered for that course, so you can see how many seats are still available. Remaining seats available. WL cap is a wait list capacity. WL act is wait list spots that are actually there. and WL is waitlist that are remaining. The instructor is the professor teaching the course. The date is the first and last day of classes for the term. This does not necessarily mean it's the first and last day of classes for you, as the term begins on a Wednesday, and if you don't have your first class until that following Monday, it obviously would be a different date. Location is where the course is going to be held, whether it's on campus or on an online course. How do you select for registration? So what you're going to do is, after it pops up for you, there's going to be a box on the left-hand side. As long as there's no C in that box, you can go ahead and select the box and then select register. Once you select register, it will prompt you to enter your date of birth in the month, day, year box. After that, the first time and possibly times after that, it's going to ask you to review and acknowledge the financial responsibility page. That's just acknowledging the fact that a bill will be sent to your email address and that it is the responsibility of the student to pay it. To add and drop courses, once you go into the current schedule and you select all these courses, you will see them up under your current schedule. At this point in this screen shot, you'll see how there's only one management course listed there. If for some reason you need to drop that course, whether it's not a good time or it's something else, conflicting, you can only drop a course if there are 2 courses listed. You are not able to drop to 0 credits after registering for a course. If in the event you need to drop to 0 credits, meaning you need to take a leave of absence for the semester, or you wish to withdraw from the university, you're going to need to go ahead and do that through WP Connect. And once that paperwork is processed, the registrar's office will then be able to remove you from classes. As a non-degree student, you can take up to 9 graduate credits or 30 undergraduate credits without actually matriculating into a program. To go beyond these limits, you must gain acceptance into a graduate program. And in order to be considered for matriculation, you must complete a new graduate admissions application and submit all the required documentation. Any completion of courses as a non-degree student will not guarantee you acceptance into a program, and not all courses and programs are available for those who are non-degree seeking students. The waitlist. If you've registered for a course and you ultimately have been placed on the waitlist, a little bit of information is it's open only after the course is filled. There are 5 available spots on a waitlist. And if a seat becomes available to you, you'll be notified at your William Paterson email address. So just one more reason why you want to make sure you check that regularly. After you receive that email, you, the student, must log in and register for that course. You have 48 hours to register before the seat is then ultimately passed on to the next person and no longer available to you. Registration add errors. If for some reason you get, an error message, the status approval by academic chair means you should reach out to the appropriate program director, because in that case you will need permission to register for that course. Status prerequisite, again, it's going to mean that the program director will need to put in the permission for you to ultimately take that course after they review that you do have the prerequisite. SR, the student restriction, you're going to click the student service tab and then look to view if you have any holds or any other information about your account that may prevent you from registering. For instance, this one here, you may not add or drop classes due to holds on your records. If you look to the bottom, that screenshot, for this particular example, we use the graduate admissions hold. So you would then need to contact our office to inquire about the holds and how you can go about having that removed. My suggestion is to contact our office via email through the graduate inbox at graduate@WPUNJ.edu. So that this way you can provide your full name, your student ID number, and ultimately that there is a hold that you'd like to look into on your account. This just makes it a little bit easier. It creates a record, and there's always somebody checking that email address to be able to communicate with you. Payment options. Again, your bills will be sent to your email address, and there are a couple different options in order to pay your bill. You can pay in cash, in person, at Student Enrollment Services, which is located in Morrison Hall. It's entry 2 from Pompton Road. And this is in the building that graduate admissions is housed in. It's right out front. There's a big desk. You'll just have to get in line and speak with one of the representatives there. You are welcome to pay by check or money order. You can mail it to the address listed there, or you can bring it again to Student Enrollment Services. They'd be happy to take it from you there. On all checks, if you are paying by check, we request that you put your 855 number on there so that we make sure that your check gets applied to your specific account. Internet check payment, or an e-check. You can check your bills directly, WPUNJ.edu/ebill, and ultimately pay your bills from there if you'd like to pay with an e-check. E-check payments can only be used with personal checking and savings account. You cannot use a commercial or a home equity loan account for those e-checks. And there is no fee to do it online, so you're more than welcome to do that. You can also pay by credit card at the same web address, WPUNJ.edu/ebill. However, just keep in mind that the cardholder will be charged a convenience fee of 2.75% for each transaction. There's also something called the TIP plan, which is the tuition installment plan. The university offers this interest-free installment plan starting for the fall, spring, and summer terms. You can enroll through Student Enrollment Services. There's more information on their payment plan page. And ultimately what it would do is it would break up your semester payments throughout the semester, opposed to having to pay the bill in full at one time. Important contact information. Our office, obviously the phone number and the email address. Student Enrollment Services is another go-to that's very important in regards to billing and any questions. If you need to request transcripts, things like that, that goes through Student Enrollment Services. And then ultimately the Office of the Registrar, in the event you're having difficulty with, dropping some of your courses and any type of leave of absence would go through the Registrar's office. I hope that that's covered the basic information for you, and that all of you can go out there and register for the fall semester. That pretty much sums it up. Again, if there's any questions, please feel free to stop into our office or reach out to us, the contact information listed here, because we'd be happy to help. Wishing you a very successful semester. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much, Christina. And for anybody who may have joined us late, just a quick reminder, we have been recording this registration webinar. We understand it's a lot of information in a relatively quick amount of time, and you might not be sitting down this evening to register for courses. You might do so in the next couple days, over the weekend, whenever is convenient for you. So we do want to make sure that if you need to refer back to any of the information in this slide or these slides, you're able to do so. So we are going to be emailing you the link to our YouTube channel recording early next week, so you can look for that in your inbox, and that will hopefully give you the chance to refer back, or if you joined us late, to catch up on any slides that you might have missed. But as Christina mentioned, this completes the formal portion of our webinar. If you do have any questions, feel free to type them in the chat box there, and Christina or myself will make sure that we field them. And otherwise, can't thank you enough on behalf of the Graduate Admissions Office for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us, and we look forward to seeing you on campus for classes for the fall. So have a wonderful evening. Take care.